This is me playing Geometry Dash at the top of the world's tallest building, yet to explain how and why I did this, we are going to have to go back to the beginning. When I was first getting on the plane to go to Dubai, the first thing that I thought about was the Burj Khalifa. It was a pretty obvious choice, the world's tallest building. Now, on the plane, I had a thought. How incredible would it be to play Geometry Dash on top of the world's tallest building? Now, I already knew that I was going to go up there as my parents had told me, so now I would have to wait for the time to come. The days went by, getting ever closer to the time where I would finally go up. And then on Tuesday the 8th of April, it was finally time. Now, I'm going to be completely honest, I 100% forgot about this video idea before we got there, yet luckily I brought my phone with me, which meant that I could still do it. Anyway, we arrived at the Dubai Mall, which is at the bottom of the Burj Khalifa, at around 2:30, yet we had booked to actually go up it at 6:30, which meant that it would be 4 hours before I could play Geometry Dash at the top. Anyway, when we got to the Dubai Mall, we went to this nice cafe for a late lunch, and then we just kind of walked around the mall for a few hours until, before I knew it, it was finally time to go up the Burj Khalifa. Also, these videos take incredibly long to make, so if you're enjoying it, then please like and subscribe. Also, if you're interested in helping me further, then please become a member, as even if you get the lowest tier, you can get a ton of cool perks, and it helps me a ton. Anyway, back to the video. We first entered this really cool lobby place, which had the history of the building and stuff on the walls, before we got to a big line leading up to the elevator. Now, this thing was incredible, because it was going up so high so quickly that my ears kept on popping, and there was also this neat animation on the wall as we went up. Anyway, once we got to the top, we had to go up another set of stairs, yet we were then at the top of the building. Now, after looking at the view and going over this cool bridge thing, my brother and I slipped away from my parents and went to one of the windows where I was going to play Geometry Dash. Now, when I was going up the building, I set myself 2 goals. The first one was to beat Stereo Madness, and the second one was possibly one of the most problematic goals, which was to play an online level, yet I'll explain why this was so problematic later. Anyway, once we were all set up, I began playing Stereo Madness. Now you may think, Stereo Madness is pretty easy, right? Yet, it's not so easy standing at the top of the world's tallest building, surrounded by dozens of people, whilst people look at you like the weirdest person in the world because you're playing a silly little mobile game at the top of the world's tallest building. The progress bar ticked by slower than it ever had before, yet I endured. 30%. I was now getting to the ship part. 47%. I had got past the ship part and into the hardest part of the level. It was now or never. If I choked, I probably wouldn't get another chance if I died here. 61%. I was now coming up to the triple spike, the hardest click of the whole level. All I had to do was lock in. And I choked. Out of all the times I could have choked, it was then. Now, I was getting some seriously weird looks by now, which meant that I wasn't able to do another attempt. My parents were saying that I had to go, which meant that the dream was dead, and I wasn't going to get another chance, possibly ever in my whole life. Yet, in a twist of events, my parents actually wanted to go look at the gallery overview area before we left, which gave me one final attempt to beat Stereo Madness at the top of the world's tallest building. I opened the level. The first spike, clear. I got to the ship part and then completed it. Then I got to the hardest part of the level, my pulse racing. 61%. I was about to come up to the infamous triple spike. Here, I could not choke. I just had to lock in. And I cleared it. The percentage bar ticked by 65, 66, 67. I was getting close to the second infamous triple spike. This was my last attempt. If I choked here, then I would never get another chance in my whole life. And I did it. I passed the second triple spike. Now I just had to lock in for the last ship part. And I did it. A feeling of elation and relief washed over me. I had beaten Stereo Madness on top of the world's tallest building. Now after this, there was one final goal I had to do. Play an online level. Now when I went into the search bar and searched up Bloodbath, I realized that I had no connection. I wasn't going to be able to play any online levels. As well as this, none of the levels in my saved tab would load, so I was literally only going to be able to play my own online levels. Now, although I had given up hope, at the last minute I remembered that the daily and weekly levels saved differently, so when I went onto them, they worked. So I played both the daily, which was Space-Time Continuum, and the weekly, Cranio Naos. As well as this, right as we were about to leave, I also played some of my own levels. Moonshine, Wavelight, the Gem Factory, Parting Clouds, Neon World Knock, and a Pale Blue Dot. Anyway, we went back down the elevator, and my time at the top of the world's tallest building was over. Anyway, this is possibly one of the most incredible things I have ever done in GD, so please subscribe and become a member. Anyway, thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.